Hey everybody! Happy Tuesday.
I was gonna say Easter for some reason. So there's that.
We are going to do a quick cheesecake for you guys. I already know that this thumbnail is going to say something like 10-minute cheesecake. I will tell you, that is a little misleading because while it only takes 10 minutes to throw this cheesecake together, it bakes for almost an hour, and then it also has to sit in the fridge for a couple hours and get cooled down. So I've made cheesecake a couple of different times on the channel. One time I did an original, and then the next time I did a pumpkin. This is actually going to be a strawberry cheesecake. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a sugar-free strawberry preserves on top of it, and it should be extra delicious. Take this baby. So let me show you guys what you're gonna need, and then I will get started. I hope you're having a really great day. We sure are.
All day, every day.
I'm a little tired, but I know that if I don't make a dessert to have for tonight, I'm going to derail. So I absolutely have to make it, and I've been promising cheesecake for 2 weeks. So let's get it done, shall we? Okay, you're gonna need a pan for your cheesecake. This is a 9-inch springform pan, and you're also gonna need something to spray it with, just a little bit. For the crust, 2 cups of almond flour, some vanilla extract, flavoring of your choice. I'm actually going to be using the sugar butter cookie flavoring in my crust. 1/3 cup of melted butter, and it's about, I want to say like 3 tablespoons of erythritol. The recipe that I'm adapting is from wholesomeyumblog.com. She has a recipe for sugar-free cheesecake, and I basically just take that recipe and tweak it to whatever flavors we're in the mood for. Super simple. It's a really easy, reliable cheesecake recipe. You won't be disappointed. Even if you make it exactly as is, it is simply delicious. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And give your pan a little spray. Okay, this is 1/3 cup of melted butter. Then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of erythritol. This is the granular. You can use granular or powder for the crust. Then 2 cups of almond flour. A teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then you can add any additional flavoring of your choice. We're going with the sugar cookie from One-on-One Flavors. Now we're gonna stir this all together. It will be on the crumbly side. That's exactly how you want it. So mix it until it's completely incorporated, and then we're gonna press it into our pan. Okay, so this should stick together when you touch it, but definitely should still be on the crumbly side. We're gonna go ahead and dump all of it, almost all of it, into our springform pan. And then I'm gonna use my hands and just start smushing it down and making an even layer for the crust. I always like to come up on the sides a little bit with the crust so it makes like this really nice base for the cheesecake. And it's just nice to have that little extra pile of crust in the corner of your slices. Okay, I've got the crust all pressed into place, and now this is going to bake in a 350 degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. While the crust is baking, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the filling. Now, this is 32 ounces of softened cream cheese, which is 4 blocks that I've left sitting out for well over an hour to get it nice and soft. Next, we're going to add our sweetener. It is very important for this part that the sweetener that you're using be a powdered sweetener. So whether it is Swerve or whatever sweetener of your choice, make sure that it is powdered or the texture of this won't come out right. I like to sift my sweetener in. So 1/4 cup plus a cup. So it's 1 1/4 cups of powdered sweetener. I'm gonna make Dan sift this. Go ahead.
Sifty.
It just comes out better this way.
It makes it fluffy.
All right, so we'll see you in forever. Okay, we finally got all of the powdered sugar sifted into the cream cheese. Now I am going to use a hand mixer and beat this on low until it's nice and fluffy. Okay, next we're gonna beat in 1 egg at a time on low. All right, this is the last egg. The crust just came out of the oven and it looks beautiful. Okay, last but not least, we are doing 3/4 of a tablespoon of lemon juice and 1 heaping teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oops, a little more than heaping teaspoon. And now we're gonna blend this on low until all of the liquid disappears. Oven is still on 350 degrees. Now I am going to take my beautiful silky cheesecake mixture and get it all in on top of the crust. I'm gonna smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so I've got all of the filling in. I'm gonna give it just a slight little tap to hopefully eliminate any possible air bubbles. Now it's time to add the jam. So basically what I'm going to do is I am going to take a little tiny bit of this sugar-free strawberry preserves that I got from Walmart, and I'm just gonna marble it into the top. It ends up upping the carb count just a little bit, but I think it's gonna be worth it. I'll just be mindful of our portion size. So once you get the little preserves blobbed on, we're gonna take our knife and we're just slowly gonna start dragging it back and forth like this. And we're gonna do this over and over again until we've got it evenly distributed, at least somewhat. I think it's gonna be beautiful when it comes out. I hope it bakes up the way that normal jelly does. I guess we'll see. Okay, there it is. Now this is gonna bake in a 350 degree oven for about 50 to 60 minutes. I'll check it at 50 and see where we're at. But I hope it comes out as pretty as it looks right now. Whew, it's gonna be good. There are 9 bazillion different ways to zhuzh up your cheesecake. You could add cocoa powder to the crust. You can add all sorts of different flavorings. You could add some peanut butter to the top or some of that sugar-free Nutella. It's really limitless, and this recipe is just such a good, solid base. I love Wholesome Yum Blog. I believe her name is Maya. She just does the greatest recipes, and every single one that I've ever made, even if I've tweaked it, it's come out amazing. So this is about to smell our house up filled with cheesecake goodness. We're gonna get rolling on bath time for the kids, but I'll be sure to show you what it looks like when it comes out.
Stop splashing. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
55 minutes later, and it is a thing of beauty. I'm really proud at how gorgeous it turned out. The sugar-free jelly baked just like the regular does.
How?
Sadly, we are not going to get to try this cheesecake for you because it's a little bit later in the evening than I had planned to make it, and it's definitely gonna have to sit in the fridge for a few hours. I can't promise that Dan isn't gonna stay up super late to give it a try, but I doubt I'll get to it tonight. But it looks absolutely beautiful, and since I've made this cheesecake recipe before, I know it's gonna taste delicious. So give it a try. Even if you think that you can't make baked goods, I'm here to tell you this one is so simple. I'm willing to bet you'll be able to throw it together in no time. and feed it to people who don't eat keto because it's such a winner.
One chip?
Can I have a kiss?
One chip?
You don't need chips. I've got one kid going through a phase right now where he's eating absolutely everything that's not nailed down and one that's not eating anything. Kids, I tell ya. I love you guys. I hope that you have the best day ever. And for all of you that are new here, thank you for sticking around and for subscribing. We really appreciate it. We hope that you get the chance to try this cheesecake and pray for me that Dan doesn't eat it smoldering hot because it definitely needs to cool. I love you guys and we'll see you soon.